This is gonna be on the main channel.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, wow.
What?
I feel so much love.
We're arguing in the comments section. I wasn't aware it was a big major deal.
Straight up going ham.
Okay, fantastic. Well, if you're gonna be
Okay.
if you're gonna be
Fair.
reasonable, we're not gonna be able to have a really good argument, I guess.
I could be unreasonable.
Well, that'll
Just
work.
get unreasonably angry with you.
That'd work.
Just for the
Yeah.
just for the clickbait. It's gonna be the next Logan Paul versus KSI. Let's go.
Okay. I literally called the fucking thing 1v1 versus Mint. So I will enjoy putting this in the chat and watching freaking Rouge have a meltdown.
Why would she? I mean, oh
What?
boy,
What?
I'm putting it on Twitter.
Okay, cool. There. Fucking work, you jank piece of crap. I'd like to state for the record, I had a civil discussion with Leo Convoy, and then when freaking Coyote Love is like, how could you do that to Leo? We're cool. What the fuck are you talking about? Everything's fine.
Well, I don't know too much about that,
Yeah.
quite frankly.
I assumed he already knew about the Brixi thing, and then he's like, no, I had no idea. And then he's like, I also didn't know about this other thing, and I was like, yeah, I just threw that all out there. I could swear Sheldon was aware of that stream. Hell, he was in the call when that shit originally went down, and you're like, you hit it. I'm like, I hit it. Fuck. The people I hung out with, who I tell and retell the story to constantly, are in the fucking call. Corpulent Brony and Sheldon are right there. And every time I've told someone, I was like, you can ask Corpulent Brony and Sheldon. They were in the call.
Well, how come it wasn't dealt with like the day after?
Because everybody
What
was
happened?
shrieking at me, oh, you're just deflecting. And I'm like, look, my whole point was, and this is what I said to Leo. He's like, well, what do you want to have happen? And I was like, I just don't want him to completely get away with it. Well, what do you exactly want to have happen? I will trust you to handle that. Boom.
I mean, like, how long ago did this happen, Anthony?
Fucking, I'm going to assume, since it said main studios in the call, and that's what they were arguing about, so 2014, 2015, which puts...
That's like 5 years ago, dude.
Yeah. But again, and here's
like, right,
since the cat's out of the bag about this, and I don't mean to. Again, I tried telling this to fucking Spoken Mind in fucking trust, but she just leaked it anyways. She told me that recently, and from what I had heard, it wasn't like full nudity. He was starting to try and take his clothes off again in like 2018, 2019. I'm like, yeah, sounds like Vita.
Well, yeah, Vita's like naked all the time.
But
he doesn't go on camera when he gets naked.
we didn't cheer
a lot.
We didn't cheer him on. Nobody held out a freaking handful of singles and said, "Yeah, baby, take it off." That's gonna get isolated. That never.
That's just kind of Vita's thing. I mean,
What?
For as long as I can remember.
That's not an excuse.
I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm just saying, like,
you
Vita
understand?
Gets drunk.
Yeah, I had
Anthony,
this discussion.
You know, some people. I've read stories of some people who get drunk, like when they get like really drunk, they take their clothes off. There was one chick telling a story. She's like, "Oh, I got so drunk, I took all my clothes off in front of my stepfather, and was walking around the house, and it's just like, yikes."
We should encourage not to hang out with people like that, I guess. Unless you're look, if you're a dude trying to get laid and she's of age, you go do your own thing. You know, I'm sure Patch will have some moral objections about.
From the sound of the audio, Vita was like extremely fucking drunk. Like that's the most drunk I had ever heard him before.
He doesn't listen when you try and moderate him. Even when I was around him at BronyCon 2016, he just drinks and drinks and drinks and just and I'm like, it's not like he's happier when he gets that blasted drunk. That's the way he handled it. And he's like, I'm just being cringy. And I'm like, but here's the other thing about that. When he gets blasted drunk, you'll get a civil Vita. So, like, I'm like, are we invalidating all those? Like, I'm confused.
No, because, well, lately Vita's gotten a lot better with handling being drunk. I know that much.
Especially for somebody who does shots, that's it's a lot easier to control. You could see how many shots you're doing. I could understand fucking it up once or twice, but goddamn, he made an art form out of getting that dumb and drunk.
I mean, he's not very often that he goes on camera. Like, I'm not excusing it. I know what he did was, like, really stupid, and I told him, hey, you're a fucking idiot for it,
Yeah.
you dumbass. And he acknowledges that he fucked up with that, but he doesn't even like remember it because he was flat out fucking drunk and it wasn't on
Yeah,
purpose.
I'll
And
be
hear
on.
how fucking
Yeah, the
horribly drunk.
inclination that I hit it, like even if Vita and I were best friends, there's no way I would shut up about that. It'd be too funny not to tell the story. I've definitely
Exactly.
told that
Bro,
story. I've definitely mentioned.
I've never heard it before though. Until yesterday, I had never heard that story. I'm like, I hung around Limbo for a good while.
I usually told it as Stardust, but then I heard Pink Mist, and I was like, oh yeah, that too. I'm like, wait a minute. And then I questioned Brawny, who said, yeah, she was 16. Then I hunted down an old freaking log from like 2014, late, that said 15. So I was like, yeah, okay, 15, 16. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say 16. And people are like, well, you don't really care about that. And I'm like, I know enough other people who make a big stink about it. Again, I won't mention the person that he was like, oh, so and so got involved with a 17-year-old when they're 21. I mean, and considering that you've done worse, it's not because I like that person. I'm just trying to keep it consistent. That's it.
No, I mean, like, my biggest issue was I had never heard it before, and then suddenly it's like coming to light. It's just weird because this happened in 2014, so this is 5 years ago at this point.
Yeah, and that's the where
About
Vita's like,
and
oh, Quill, you have no. Quill was in the
why?
fucking call and we restreamed the calls. Quill knew about
I
it.
don't understand why it wasn't held dealt with properly at the time,
Okay,
and why
so
you're
you know the.
making such a big stink about it
Okay, so
now.
here's the whole gist of it, and this is the line of thought. You were around for all this crap, so there was a period of time where nobody dealt with anything kind of pedophile whatsoever. People would talk about Crazy Pony Man, maybe one or two other things. Toon Critic drops, everything's on the table. Um, I was
Well,
I was
see,
aware of Vita fucking up, but it wasn't like an impending important thing at the moment. And then Vita's like, "Ah, you're a disgusting pervert," and I'm like, "You're worse. You're way worse than anything I've ever done."
well, here's the problem. Whenever Vita gets naked, is he's when he's drunk, so he's not necessarily conscious of his actions. It doesn't really make it better because it's like you really shouldn't be doing that regardless.
Oh, yeah, and I want to quote Hateful Tate. I'm like, so basically, all the pedophiles have to say from now on is, "Oh, I was drinking, I do believe." Oh, okay. Pound the back, go
No,
back.
because when it comes to the pedophiles, there's actually proof that they were conscious of what they're doing, and then when you get them into a call, those dumbasses fuck it up for themselves, and they just full out admit. These people aren't smart, Anthony. That's the thing.
We
It's like
can't
they're
keep
fucking
relying them
retarded.
all being stupid men. that's that's been very. That we're gonna run into someone smart somewhere down the line, and I'm hoping that they aren't just.
Anthony, this is the Brony fandom. I don't think we're going to. I think you're giving Bronies a little too much
Well,
credit.
okay.
Just a little bit.
After burning my last inroads to furry, you might have a point there where I can't make that argument anymore. Oh,
I
yeah.
can't believe it. Furries, man. What's wrong with you? That's yikes. That's a whole nother pull of yikes.
I even said that there was a call we had right after Grizzly the Medic where I can't even find the fucking thing. It was 2 hours after that where we talked. It was me, Bernie Inspector, and Vita. And he was like, God, I'm so disappointed. I'm like, go do furry for a week. He's like, no.
No, I don't blame them. Fuck no.
I'm like, it'll make you love fucking Brony again. You'll feel wholesome.
I remember when Mr. Medicare was doing that stream about that one like the dog fucker dude.
Kiro.
It might have been, yeah.
There's a
They're
couple.
showing like
There's a
logs and
couple.
shit. Yeah, there's a couple. They're showing like logs and shit, and they were listening to it in Embarrass. I'm like, what's this? And I jump in. I'm like, oh no, and I immediately regretted it. It was horrible.
I was only ever able to get through those streams with like 15 to 30 minute chunks, or if I was specifically doing research, and even then I could only do it like a couple of minutes at the time. All right, I got enough. I can't go no more.
I can't listen to Medicare for long periods of time.
Well, it
Quite
depends.
frankly, I find him kind of boring.
It depends on
It
which
also
one.
depends on what he's like
Yeah.
streaming.
Um, the if you want an example how screwed up that was, I remember when Kiwi Farms ended up covering one of Kiro's people, and at the very start he goes, "We're not going to go in depth about it." And I'm like, that should tell you something right there. Where they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, no thanks."
The farms are fucking brutal, man.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Absolutely, exactly, good stuff, but absolutely relentless.
Jesus. I thought I was fair with Mal. If you want to call me on that, let's go down the line on everything.
Quite frankly, I don't think you were. I think you were blowing it out of proportion. I know what Mal did was really stupid.
Well, here, and I'll
By
go
all,
the
by
extra.
all means, you
I
can.
said this.
You can
Yeah, I
shit
said
on
this. Yeah, I said this to Mal, and I'll say it out loud in public. I think Melibolgiogarius, especially if we grade on a curve, is the A student of everyone I've been covering lately. Holy God, Mal. Don't do that again,
Yeah,
but still, yeah.
I mean, Leo got on my case about it. He's like, it was really stupid. He shouldn't have done it. But my whole argument is, it's just a joke. I don't legitimately want anyone to steal Rouge away from you, and I'm not trying to influence Rouge to break up with you either. She's a grown woman. She can make her own choices. It's like, I'm not anyone to meddle
I'm
with
not
your
going to make any
power
remarks
level.
about. Again, the only things I've said about Rouge are Mimi, so I'm not going to say anything serious in the call that I can't have to. They'll have to explain later. So anything dumb that's just a meme, I can say. So
I
that's where I'm
mean,
going to leave it.
it's just a meme where, like, because we were making fun of you. We're like, oh, Anthony really legitimately thinks we want Vita to swoop in and steal Rouge. So we were just doing the stupid shit bot for the, the shits and giggles. I didn't know Mal was gonna post him in limbo just to, like, make it worse. I'm like, what are you
What day
doing, Mal,
was
you
it?
retard?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't remember what day it
Yeah,
was anymore.
I'll put it to this way: if it was Friday and I was just in a bad mood, Mal been poking me, and maybe
Yeah,
Mal's
like, that's just making it worse, just poking the fucking mirrors. Like, what are you doing?
yeah.
Stop it! I mean, at the time, it was funny to me, like, oh yeah, that's gonna make Anthony more mad, ha ha ha. But then afterwards, I'm like, holy shit, Anthony's legitimately pissed. Like, what the fuck is going on here? He needs to calm down, take a chill pill. It ain't that deep, fam.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm not really losing it. I was just having a retarded conversation on fucking Twitter, and I've already apologized to one of the parties involved, which don't want to be mentioned, so I'm going to leave that there.
Well,
uh,
that's
I,
fine.
I brought up somebody as a cheap shot, and here I'll put it this way: the analogy I told Elf was, I've said this before. If you're in a fight and you have a gun, you could choose to stop getting your ass kicked. I had a low blow. I decided I was like, I'm not in the mood. It's late. I'm about to go to bed. And
Oh, was it the fight last night with
Leo, or not Leo, freaking Coyote. Yeah.
Yeah, with Coyote? I saw that. I had no idea who you're talking about until I read further into it. I'm like, oh no, Anthony, no! What if that's just like a massive, ginormous fucking oof right there? I was like, God, that's like someone bringing up one of your like
No, I'm a
past
good
attacks.
sport
I
about
mean,
that. I'm a good sport about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes, though.
Yeah, no, I understand it. And you know what's funny? He could have easily fired back there, and I'd have been like, "Oh, you got me! Oh, you son of a bitch!" But no, he didn't.
He
Go there.
did roast you pretty good though. Like what Coyote was saying, just like oof, 10 out of 10 roast. That
Okay.
was a very entertaining fight to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
And he's like, "You're gonna make a video," and I'm like, "Why? I'm actually kind of booked with crap right now."
Well, you said you were gonna make a video, and he said, "Oh, yeah,
I
I'll
don't remember
gladly
saying that.
respond." I saw it somewhere. Hold on, let me find it.
Yeah, I don't think that was in pertains to Coyote. I kept
Maybe
telling
not.
him,
All I
"Yeah,
know is that you mentioned something about a video. I'm like, Anthony's
yeah,
gonna make a video,
not
really?
on
I mean,
Coyote."
that's
Jeez.
not out of character for
And
you,
you know
quite
what? Like,
frankly.
here's the whole thing. If he wants to be like, "Oh, you're talking about me now," that counts. I could do a reply. Okay, if you really want.
Let's go score up.
Yeah.
This whole thing was really stupid.
Which
And,
part?
like,
Which part?
I said this whole thing, Anthony. Come on, keep up, keep up. I know your brain sucks.
No,
So
we
keep up.
can go through. Like I already sit there and addressed. I talked about it as much as possible, and I told everybody who'd be willing to listen. I know I've definitely told Step about it, and he's like, "What proof do you have?" And I'm like, "There's that call up on Fanon Frenzy. Oh, I'll get around to it." I know I'm almost positive I told fucking Hateful I worded it properly for Leo, and I guess he didn't see it. I do put out a lot of shit, so maybe it slipped through the cracks.
Maybe, but like, quite frankly, that whole like audio clip, it doesn't really say anything. We'd have to get statements
Okay,
from like
so
Corpulent and
here's
whoever
the
else was
gist
in the
about that.
call.
You remember the Vita Fall video where he's like, "I'm going to give her the VD." When he says V, he means his dick. There's no
Yes, I
don't
do remember.
yeah don't
No, yeah, but it's like so when Corpulent says, I think I see the V's." Like,
so
okay,
unless
I understand.
unless you're telling
I
me that
understand what he's
Vita's
trying to
yeah
say.
unless you're telling me Vita specifically stopped in the middle of the call, snapped a dick off his and Gyazo or some shit, and then sent it to Corpulent and not the room. I
I
it's
mean,
possible, but sounds
it,
highly unlikely.
it was in call,
Yeah.
and he was drunk off his ass, and I heard him saying, "Oh, Anthony, hug me, just hug your monitor. I want a hug." So it was like when he was going to hug his fucking monitor, if they did catch a look at his dingaling, that it wasn't intentional. He wasn't trying to show it off.
At no point in time in the video did I sit there and imply that there was intention. I'm implying that,
I mean, like, then what was? I don't understand the point of bringing it up.
I
Like,
brought
yeah,
it up
Vita
because
fucked
at the
up.
same time where I was like, are we punishing people for fucking flashing nude and shit. And
But
I
it wasn't intentional. We punished them for doing it on purpose.
Flutter
There's a
Rocket didn't
difference.
intentionally flash a 15-year-old. He thought it was an adult and he fucked up.
Oh, well, I don't know anything about Flutter
Well,
Rocket. I
that's
didn't hear
yeah.
anything
It's
about that.
that's exactly that's the rest of the video. That's why it was bothering. Oh wait, yeah. I switched off to the donut thing, and the reason why I brought it up there is because I ended up having to defend fuck. Well, I didn't have to. I could have easily thrown fucking Coyote out of the call and been like, "We're done talking about Vita," but I didn't. And I wound up
Yeah,
defending
you
him
need
that one,
more.
and I wound up defending him the donut one, and I'm like, I have complaints, and I just feel like putting them out here since people like Elf are like, "You're defending Vita, lol," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to. Here's a complaint."
Oh, also my tweet going, "LOL, are you defending Vita?" And then, oh, look, Vita did this thing ages ago. I'm gonna show it to prove I still hate him as accurate. Then I
Vita
just,
wouldn't let nothing go. What are you talking about? I'm just trying to being consistent and trying to judge the man by his own bullshit rules. Fuck.
I mean, honestly, this
We're
whole thing
doing
is
good
really
numbers on
retarded.
the side channel, 25. You're right. We should have gone
We
main.
are doing good numbers.
Yeah, we should have gone main. Fuck.
I told you. I told you. Respect the mint, Anthony. This is great pod. What do
Oh,
you?
this is great pod. I
Shout
don't know
out
why. I
Vitas.
noticed Spoken and you were like, you should probably talk to Vita. Um,
I mean, I don't think that would go well because Vita just doesn't really give a shit. If anything, he just probably try to shit on you constantly for being stupid. And then it would just turn into this back and forth of remember the good old days of the PFC and yada yada. It's like every time you to get into a call, it's weird,
yeah.
quite frankly. And
I
also, Vita's too fucking lazy for that shit. And he wants to play his fucking video game.
I tried doing the video game thing, got real bored.
I'm not a fan of video games either. I just like to listen to music and draw, and that's about it.
Watched a couple of
That's my
videos
entire
on
life.
Team Fortress, and I was like, I want to pull off these super difficult. Oh no, I suck.
Nope, exactly. I can barely play Mario without being shit, and that's just sad. Mario's like the
How?
easiest fucking. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm just really bad at video games.
Dark
I'm
side me.
great at Pokemon though. Pokemon. I could do that with 10 out of 10, man. It's easy.
Rocky's a huge fucking Pokemon fan.
No, I'm
Hopefully,
just
I
kidding.
just got rid of this strike on this channel. Come on.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
Well, you
hopefully,
know what? To
hopefully
be fair,
someone
I don't
doesn't.
pay
Yeah.
attention, so
All right. Well, I'll try and trim it later if
so
I get the
my
chance.
bad. Just
All right.
bleep it out.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Put the radio edit thing over it.
Well, like,
Radio
you
edit.
could trim fucking streams, but whatever.
Well, that too. But yeah, this whole thing was stupid.
Okay.
I understand at the time that, yeah, I remember now that things were really, really, really different back then, and I know I heard a bunch about, like, oh, there's these really creepy people hanging around, so be careful.
Yeah.
But nothing was ever really done about them, and then when the tune thing happened, things, like,
So
completely flipped over.
here's where I would expect if Leo were in the call, he'd be screaming at maybe you and me, at least me.
Oh, yes,
So
absolutely.
here, let's put it this way. Let's pretend that, say, I don't know, what was that creepy asshole I just mentioned?
Crazy
Insanity
Pony Man.
Brony. What's his name? Fucking
Insanity
yeah, Crazy Pony. Crazy Pony Man.
Crazy Pony Man.
Yeah. If Crazy Pony Man had a personality like Vita, he would have gone a lot further. Like people would have put up with more. Yeah.
I don't know too much about Crazy Pony Man, but from what I heard, yeah. I
Yeah.
heard very little about him. I wasn't super active with, like, the drama community back then. Like, I barely watched you that often,
Yeah,
no
but
offense.
for anyone popping in, Mint and I are both recalling back in the day when, pre-tune critic pedophiles.
Back in my day,
Yeah,
the
back
brony fandom.
pedophiles were things that you'd hear about, but the kids would say no to, and you'd be like, oh, okay, they're just some creepy asshole, and then shit
Yeah.
happened.
And then, the ball really dropped with Toon.
Yep.
You know, the crazy thing about that, Anthony, is, like, around the same time he started doing that with that girl, do you remember when we busted Director, Fallen Wish's boyfriend at the time?
I think he took off before we really got to cover that properly, but
Yeah,
kind of.
I remember in that chat room, and Vita hit you up, and you guys dragged me into limbo as you, Kichi, and Vita, and you were going over the chat logs, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then Toon messaged me, and he's like, "Hey, I have this side room, with all my friends. Why don't you come hang out with us for a little bit and just like calm down?" And so I was sitting there in call with Toon and like Golden Fox and Keyframe, and and I think back to it a lot because it's like fucking Christ. This is around the same time like that Tune started doing it with that girl, and I was so like vulnerable right then because it was just I was really confused and scared about what had happened with like director,
I
and
would.
it's just like
No,
fuck.
I got that fucking. I went through my old chat logs for Toon where I'd mentioned because I was like, oh, he could promote people, and then I
He
went
could
back and
promote
read
people.
that and went, oh, I
Yikes.
feel real gross right now.
Yeah. It's just so because I remember that call vividly. Tune was like, "Yeah, this thing is disgusting. I can't believe that Fallen Wish had a boyfriend who did this and yada yada." And it's just it was so fucking hypocritical because he turned around and did the same thing, but like so much worse. And it's just yikes. It was just a massive oof. The whole Tune thing was just ugh, fuck.
Jen, you mentioned the director. I remember. I think what was his, the Minty Root was fucking very dismissive of his quality.
Oh, I don't yeah, I remember watching a couple of the director's things.
The only thing I
Uh,
remember is that when I had on Crown Prince and she said the worst kind of animation I hate is like animators who just do the ear twitch thing to show animation, and someone's like, the director does that. That's how
Yikes.
indirect roast. Those are the best. Okay, so
Oh.
like since you're being ultra reasonable, I guess I have to trim that part out. But here's the rub about that. You do understand that it is weird that you got a lot more leeway than say Isaac Collar did on that.
On what?
The whole Brixie thing, like you went into Harp, you went the whole 9 yards. If we
Oh,
would,
I only went into Harp to go fight Donut because Donut was being an idiot.
oh, I thought you were even talking to Donut at the time.
No, at the time Donut was making videos about Vita and Jason. I'm like, this dude's stupid, and so I started laughing at him in his comment section, and then he started like calling me names and he deleted my comments on his video. And I was mocking him on Twitter, like, "Oh, you're such a pussy bitch that you have to delete my comments on your video." And then Brixi popped up out of nowhere. I had never heard of him before. He popped up out of nowhere, and on Twitter he's like, "Hey, I have this Discord room if you guys want to join in and hash it out in there." And I'm
and
like, "Okay, fuck it."
and I do want to mention that I mentioned this offhand to freaking Leo, where I was like, it's not like Brixie was allegedly like he was out and proud about being yeah.
Yeah, I know. I remember he was just very open about it. I actually talked to him about it. I'm like, "Well, what's it like?" And he explained it to me.
Oh,
And when he first realized that he was, and he told me,
I wish
that
I
he
had a
would never
second yeah.
actually.
I wish I had a
Uh,
second or third person to be like, "Am I cool to ask this in stream, or did anything weird happen?"
nah, nothing ever
Oh,
weird happened.
oh.
If you ask Sheldon about it, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, it was so convincing. Like nobody knew if it was real or fake, and it was no, it's just fake." It's because we really like worked it up, and I was really surprised because when I put it on Twitter, people were like, "Oh," and we're like, "Oh, as long as nothing happens, it's okay. Nothing sexual going on, it's fine. She can do
But
whatever
Brixie
she
really
wants." I'm like, "What the
was,
fuck?"
into kids.
Yeah, I know, but he told me that you don't have to trust him on this, but he told me that he would never actually like touch a kid. That's what he told me
I
at least.
forgot who
I
told
don't
me
know
this,
what I
whether it was Vita or Corp or somebody else. He said that there was somebody kind of like lingering around the rooms they suspected was like some kind of cop or something, and he's like, we're smarter than to
Ooh.
fall for that shit," and that always made me wonder. For the longest time, when Vita showed me that one, there was a video clip where he showed that Brixie was like stalking behind him and Bayfish or some shit like that.
Oh, I remember that. Yes,
I
I
thought they
remember
were
that.
friends, and I thought that that was like him fucking around. And he's like,
No,
"No,
Vito really hates Brixie. That's the
we
I remember Brixie got drunk once and he was like, "Oh, I don't know why Vita hates me." And I'm like, "Well, he just thinks you're creepy." He's like, "Well, that doesn't make me feel better."
we ran into Brixie at fucking BC 2016. It was me, Vlad, and fucking Vita. And every time we walked by fucking Brixie, he'd snap up his phone to hold his camera on us like we were gonna beat his ass, which we weren't. I didn't know about Brixie being that creepy. I just knew it was like, oh, he's a harp guy. You. We ran.
Yeah, Vita really doesn't like him. When
Yeah,
I started my fake prank with Brixie, he actually stopped talking to me. He's like, "I'm gonna stop talking to you until you end this shit and like grow a fucking brain."
I did.
He
I
was
did
very
ride
much
Vita during
against
that
it.
time, and I'm like, why are you putting up with Mint doing this? And he's like, I don't agree with her.
And there's nothing he could have. There's nothing he could do about it. I mean, what the fuck is he gonna do?
Well,
He doesn't have contact with my parents at that time. He
well,
does
no, I
now.
get that too, and that's
So
exactly. But I'm just saying, like we've blackballed people, like I said, Isaac Collar Tunes, like freaking, girlfriend
well,
or
that's
boyfriend.
different because they're actually dating. I wasn't actually dating Brixie, and Isaac still very much stands by Tune,
I
and I don't
I'll,
even
I'll
talk to
I'll put it
Brixie
to you this
anymore.
way: if we found out that somebody was just hanging out with Tune, it wouldn't do well for them.
Yeah, I don't even hang out with Brixie. I don't talk to Brixie. I haven't been in Harp since
How long were you around him then?
since it um less than a month. I want to say it was pretty short lived.
I'll
It was
I'll let you go with
it
that
was
because every
pretty.
time I recamp something, I was like 2 weeks. No matter what, I was like, I think it was 2 weeks. It just seems like
Yeah,
it'd be.
because that donut thing was really quick. I just went in there to argue with Donut, and then I left. And then you found out. I don't know how the hell you found out, but you found out I was in Harp. And then you were
Um,
trying to like parent me, like, "Hey, get the fuck out of Harp." And I got really mad. I'm like,
it's
"Because I
possible,
didn't
maybe
like
even
you."
it's possible Vita might even told me. I don't know, or
Oh,
someone
maybe
told
I
me.
don't know who told you, but somebody did. I don't know.
I
And I was really mad at you at the time because you were just like kind of being an asshole. So so I'm like,
you
well, fuck
the
Anthony. I'm going back
I
in
I
Harp.
was confused by that too because again, okay, I understand that Pristine could be a handful, but that was the clip I fucking grabbed where I was like, "Fuck you, Pristine, you could go kill yourself," and I'm like, oh.
I
She's a
regret that
level 10
hardcore.
cinnamon roll. Why are you doing?
Yeah. I went to apologize to Pristine at some point. I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry for this comment. It was really stupid of me, and I was taking my anger out on you. And she was like, it's all right, I understand. And I felt really bad for it after a little bit
All right, I
because
will.
I was just so pissed off at you that
I'll tell you what.
that
I
I was
will. I
saying
will.
the
I
worst
will. I will
things.
help you walk your way out of that when you had an Anthony moment. I'm not gonna.
I
That's
had
not in regards to the Brixie thing. You're out on your own there. But for the kill yourself, I'll say you had a complete, full blown Anthony fucking flip out moment.
I did for like 5 seconds, just and Miss Anthropody actually hit me up. He's like, Mint, I want you to go apologize to her, and I said no, I won't, because I was still really mad. And then I did eventually. I'm like, oh fuck, that's really fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. She didn't do anything wrong. And I'm actually glad she accepted my apology because I mean, I would have understood if she said no, you're a little shit. How dare you? I'm offended to the highest degree.
No, freaking Pristine's generally been pretty much a boss for any of the problems that they've
I
had with
never really
communication.
talked to her. I have seen her around on like DeviantArt and shit, but I never really talked to her. But I did go to apologize to her. You know,
Every
you know what my favorite interaction with like our whole drama thing has ever been?
what?
It is when Massacre Molly messaged me on DeviantArt
Uh huh.
and she copy pasted what Season said in one of her comment responses to me in a DeviantArt note, and she added her own thing at the end, and it was like the funniest thing in the world to me because it was just like Season told me to go outside and like be a kid or whatever,
Oh, Leo showed
and
up. Should we
Massacre.
put him in? Okay.
You want to add Leo?
All right.
I'll.
I thought he'd be the exception if anybody would.
I mean, if he's free and wants to hop in, why
I
not?
don't
I don't
hear. I'll
see why
ask
not.
Leo. Well, tell you what. If he doesn't want to pop in, he doesn't have to pick
Oh,
up.
he
Up, up, derp. Yeehaw.
that he just said on YouTube that he can't.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right.
Rip.
Rip and pepperoni. We were just hashing things out, Leo. Mintheart unfortunately
Mm.
decided to be an adult, which
I could have gone. I'm at the Mexican border. Well, what the hell are you doing
Well,
there?
yeah. When Mintheart contacted me, I decided instead of sitting there and stewing in my own bullshit, I went to go work on one of my fucking videos for Gilded Dash and Flutter Rocket, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna distract myself with other dumb shit and sit there and fucking dwell on
I could
yesterday.
have completely gone full Anthony mode, and I could have totally just ripped and teared, and that probably would have been more entertaining.
Yeah,
Now
probably.
that I think about it, all those extra
What
clicks
I
and
miss?
views I'm never
Oh,
gonna get.
we hashed it out. Step. We unfortunately decided
Oh,
to do
hey,
the
Steph, yeah.
we did the adult thing today. Not that thing, but
I it could have. I'm half tempted to say we just start screaming at each other right here and now, and anyone else who joins it is just gonna come at us like yelling at each other.
grab the
That'd be
clip.
great.
Yeah, grab the
grab,
clip. So
grab the clip. Grab clips of people screaming at each other. That'd be great. It's just a screaming
what the
match
hell
between
did I
two
argue with
Mexicans.
Spoken Mind about? I would have knocked that out too in a call pretty quick, I
Oh,
think.
hello, ski hateful.
Hello, hateful. We we
I
we
don't
we.
like you that much, but hello, ski.
I forgot. I
I
keep
really
forgetting that
don't
you guys
like
have.
him.
I keep forgetting you two have heat. Holy shit.
And not only that, he kept trying to add me on like Skype and Twitter, and I said no. Nigga, stay blocked. Oh shit, I keep saying that word. Fuck! Anthony, I'm gonna get your channel taken down. I'm sorry.
Well, at least it's the
Actually,
side
no, I'm
one.
not.
Yeah, okay. Everybody. Oh, okay. Everybody
Yeah,
hates me. No, you're fine,
that's
hateful.
true.
I
What's
was.
that one show? It was like everybody hates Chris, everybody hates Hateful.
Yeah. Hate. Hateful had like another complaint. Are you open hate? Like you could come bitch at me since Mint's being reasonable.
And then me and Hate can bitch at each other, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't. I don't know. Maybe I'll be an adult with him too.
Maybe.
It depends.
Everybody hates Chris. Lol.
Yes, everybody hates him. I'm open to argue with more people.
Yeah.
Just throw hands with whoever.
Yeah. Who do we got?
What's the fight? Oh, hey Glitch. Basically we're just hashing things out about yesterday and about a bunch of other things.
Nobody would have been around in Limbo anyways. The only person who was vaguely around was Patch, and they're kind of doing their own thing right now anyways. I can't go into it.
I told myself I was never gonna go back into Limbo anyway.
That's fine.
So
Nope, it's cool.
Limbo's pretty gay.
I'd like to say I'm like, well, Rouge is so much better that she decided to hang out with freaking Ryu and Jazz. Yep, she's so much better. Cough, cough, hack, hack.
But I didn't know that. Speaking of Ryu, I didn't know that account.
I could just imagine.
I was really confused. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude?
I could see Step and fucking like Mint Heart arms folded, nod their heads. Yeah, so much better, Anthony. Nice one. Waited straight up there.
You're not wrong. As much as I love Rouge and she's a great girl, don't get me wrong, but Kichi will always be the 10, the top of the line of people that you've ever been with.
I'm okay. Why? I'm
not gonna. I mean, Kichi was pretty great, even if that whole like weird relationship started because she didn't want to date somebody else, if I remember correctly. Some dude.
Okay, so they gave her a hard time when she was drunk, and she went along with it. And towards the end, she said, "Let's be friends." And it was a clean, magnificent breakup. It was probably the best I ever had in my life. We'll leave it at that.
And then how the mighty have fallen.
It was always going to be the gold standard. So let's see. Ton is the guy's name. Let's get to him.
I'm making it awkward. The only one making it awkward around here is you, Lio.
Indeed.
I'm an awkward person. That's just kind of my thing. Who? Oh, it's Hate.
Yep. Hateful a year.
Hello, Ski.
Hello.
My broski. What's up?
I'm like, this always happens when I try to get on Discord. It's like it pulls me to a call and then I can't hear anybody.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Well, no, I'd normally be able to hear you guys, and then like when I get pulled in, like, fuck.
So here's you. I already explained this to Mint, but I'll do it again. Generally, I'd already hashed things out with Leo, and then freaking goddamn Kaio decided to go get offended on Leo's behalf. I was tired and wasn't putting up with it. Did I get carried the fuck away? Yes, obviously. But here we are.
Well, I mean, Coyote's a stickler for evidence. You know that, Anthony.
I mean, we literally the girl wasn't of age. I felt that was pretty on point. I've been able to.
I mean, there's here. I'm gonna communicate with Mint what I told you, and I told Leo this. I don't have 100% confirmation of Pink Rose's age because I have your Skype log and I have her Twitter profile.
That's true. I will admit that the Twitter post did say that it put her at 19, but she had everyone that we talked to believed that she was, of the underage variety. That's why there was a big knockdown, drag-out fucking argument in the Rift about her dating an older man.
Wait. So how old is she?
Now?
She's, if we were to go that she was 15 in 2014, that would make her 21, 20 or 21.
By now.
So, but if she was 19 at the time, then...
she'd be 23, 24.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, she is older than me, so probably 24.
Oh god, this is another director thing because we couldn't fucking pinpoint his age. Remember?
Yeah, hang on. I'm having dashboard problems.
Okay.
he's this, and it was just really weird. It,
So,
But when
sorry, I was.
I did say 15 and I was able to find that, I was like, oh good, I didn't just pull that age out of my ass. I was like, oh shit. No, I found it. And then Bronny said 16. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with Bronny's fucking
she's
depiction.
something around that.
Yeah.
So either she was of the underage variety or she was barely just of age, my man.
Well, you know what they say about hand grenades and horseshoes. I made this analogy somewhere else. There's inbounds and there's out of bounds.
Exactly. It's. I mean, either way, what Vita did was really stupid, and I'm going to continuously laugh at him for who knows how long for being an idiot. But
I
I mean,
mean,
there's really
I,
not too much we can do about it except laugh at him and call him stupid.
I mean, is that
I
gonna?
mean, all the stupid shit he says in some of these calls, you could write it in a fucking book. Honestly,
Dude, I could take quotes from literally every video of everybody ever in the Brody fandom and make a
he
comedy.
he
Call
literally asked Anthony in the call patch, "Explain you, a person."
I know what he meant.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes when he gets drunk, he talks how I write.
Yeah.
He talks. God
So
damn it.
all we need to do is get Anthony super fucking hammered, and
And
he'll be
maybe he'll
Shakespeare.
actually be able to, exactly. Maybe
Oh
he'll
God.
actually be able to speak and write correctly. It'll be
What
great.
was it? It was Fireball, wasn't it? He keeps saying that Sheldon keeps encouraging him to chug was it Firebrand every
That
time he
was
like
yeah.
gets into calls or whatever. Fireball. There you go.
Jesus, I hear that's a really strong word.
Yeah, we got to make it Fireball, Anthony.
78.
It does magical things to
It's
people.
basically cinnamon whiskey, is it?
Yeah, it's cinnamon. It's
Cinnamon.
cinnamon.
Oh fuck, that
It's
sounds
liquor.
painful.
It's rough. Yeah. Oh, what you don't want to do is sneeze because the burning in your nose is ooh, 10 out of 10.
Yikes. Yeah, that sounds really pain. I will never understand adults and alcohol, quite frankly.
We drink to make the voices go away. when,
You're wrong.
when you're old enough, Mint, and you get to mix drinks that go down smooth, it's relaxing. But if you have other ways to de-stress, it's not a habit I was just starting. I didn't start
No,
drinking until I was 21, not because of any moral reason, just because I knew all my friends were mooches, and I knew the minute I started drinking, I'd be buying all the alcohol. And sure enough, that's what happened.
Yikes. I mean, the only time I've ever really drank was when I sneak it away from my mom and my my aunts and uncles.
And the box
I
wine went
remember
down a little
they
bit.
got plastered on New Year's like last year or 2 years ago actually,
Yeah, I was about
and
to
they had a
say.
bunch of alcohol on the table, and so I just took a quick sip of something, and it was weird, but not bad. And then I actually I got pretty tipsy on New Year's this year, and for my 17th birthday, I went a little ham, and it was fun. I had fun, but I'm not going to make a habit out of it. You
Bad.
can bully me about that all you want,
That was very
but
bad, man. We're being adults now. We do not condone this behavior.
I I
I don't either.
Well,
I
here's the whole.
actually
I don't mind mentioning the times where I've screwed up. For example, I remember it was I think 2017 where supposedly freaking Lilac was supposed to come, and she's like, I have a lot of anxiety, and Vita's like, just get drunk the whole time, you'll be fine. And I did give her whatever the hell I didn't drink the next year when she wound up showing, and she wasn't quite there yet. So,
Ooh.
Look,
but she
man,
didn't chug it. She didn't like freaking do what
I
freaking
mean,
Vita did with
all
the.
I've ever really had it
It
was
was
my
garbage too. It was some kind of peach
it's like
horrible shit.
5%.
Yeah.
Oh, peach.
Nope.
peach moonshine.
It's what the hell.
Mm.
The good liquor store they had at BC wasn't good no more. Unfortunately, they didn't have the blood
Oh.
orange that they had the year before, or whatever the
That
hell.
sounds
No.
disgusting.
The founding alumni of my fraternity, one of them owns their own jury rig keg system or moonshine making system, and I had that at our foundation party. That shit was the bomb. Those old guys know how to party.
I had to ground step from drinking because the little shit was taking bottles now and then.
Oh, what's Step's drink of choice?
I don't remember. Step, what was it? Because I know you're in the chat.
It
Yeah.
was tears. It was
It was
tears.
tears.
He's
It
like,
was
let
the
me check. I
salty
have to.
tears.
Let me check, guys. I have to go ask Rocky. It was Guinness, guys.
Hey,
It
Rocky,
was
what's your
zero
name, please?
proof. It's the brand is called Virgin Tears Zero Proof. There you
Virgin
go.
tears.
Steps like if you drink Welcher's sparkling grapefruit juice fast enough, you can get a tiny buzz.
If I drink this Shirley Temple enough, I'll be an alcoholic someday.
God damn it.
Jesus.
Oh, when my favorite time will always be when Step got drunk, and I will forever bully him for it because it was 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 experience.
I remember when Weebus got super fucking hammered and he just started spamming my chat while I was asleep, and I come back to like 20 messages. He's like, "Hey, I love you, man. You're
Oh,
fucking
when
bomb.
Weebus
You're
got
my
drunk that night in Barrel, it was so much fun. It was so funny. He just started playing his
ZD's
song.
lines are shit."
So Leo
Yes.
says about the confessional drunk, was it like a slow "I love you" or did he just like drop it on you?
He started giggling and he was
Oh,
like, "I love you," and I'm like,
I
"What did
thought we
you
were
say?"
talking
And he
about
just started
Weebus.
laughing,
He's
and
like,
it was the
if I tilt my head and squint, you start to turn white just a little bit.
I was about to say the goddamn thing.
yeah, that's funny.
If I close my eyes hard enough, cover my ears.
Yes, I will be white. He started going on a history rant after that, after he confessed his love for me, and I was just sitting there listening to him rant
Oh
about
God, he
some
does that
some
shit when
some fucking
sober.
country in the eastern. I don't fucking
Some
remember.
dang country in the Balkans.
Some country somewhere.
You poor
And
child. Did he throw statistics at you too?
and then he started crying. I'm like, Step, what's wrong? He's like, I'm sorry for being a bad friend. I'm like, Step, you're not a bad friend. And then he went to sleep, and it was a weird fucking night. And I didn't really know what to do. I love drunk people because drunk people just they say the funniest shit, but at the same time I don't know how to handle them.
I could tell you, don't interact with them.
Don't inter. It's kind of hard not to.
You can watch what they do from a distance, man. It's funny to
Just
see what
take
they
out
do
my
with.
binoculars and
Yeah.
hide out outside.
No, no, you don't need to be that too far away. Just mingle with the party crowd. Just do what they do. Well, they pretend to start up conversation, but all they're doing is just looking at the drunk guy, just doing fun shit.
Yes.
I
It's
wish
like, God, I wish I could be that guy,
there was a fun story. I remember hearing
but I
Brawny
have
just
kids.
Brawny when he got drunk. And he's like, I've been drinking this lemonade and my stomach hurts and I'm a little dizzy right now. Did you taste the alcohol? No. I think that sounds like jungle juice.
Jungle.
If it just snuck up on you and you're dizzy as shit right now and you didn't taste any alcohol, that's exactly what it is.
Yikes.
You're gonna wake up tomorrow in a world of pain. In the
Leo
meantime,
says he doesn't drink for everyone's safety.
that's true.
Oh. I imagine
Why
that
are
would
we
be a
Why are
fun
we
to get
talking
drunk
about
one of these
drinking
days.
to a kid?
I don't know who brought it up. Oh,
I
probably we
don't
probably
remember.
sidetracked from fucking Vitas drinking.
Yeah, no, I said
Oh,
it was
yeah, that's
it was Fireball. It does magic shit to you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You're gonna become Shakespeare, Anthony. You're gonna be like Peter Griffin when he gets fucking hammered. He's like Mozart,
If Anthony doesn't write
musical
the
fucking
best
genius.
freaking script ever when drunk off his ass, I'm going to be very disappointed.
It was the best.
Well, no, it's like a whole bunch of bullshit, and then like people like follow up on the story he's telling. He's like, "Holy shit! You just came up with like you just found the worst like government conspiracy theory of all time, and it's true, and no one knew about it."
The Brody equivalent of Anthony's government conspiracy is the barrel. I love that meme personally. It's just like the barrel shadow cancel, and we're just everywhere. It's funny to me. I think it's hilarious how barrel man bad. It's 10 out of 10 in my opinion.
Meeting with the Illuminati in 12 hours.
I want to Photoshop Sheldon and like Jason Vita into like clansmen
All in
robes.
black robes.
or in black robes, like worshipping the eye of God just to make it great. It'll be 10 out of 10.
That's the
You got them with the pentagram circle in the middle, and they're summoning fucking Leo in the Doom guy suit.
Yes.
Now, and then Vita says, "Now go make fun of Lily Pete."
No, go make fun. I was pleasantly surprised when Lily covered the Grizzly the Medic thing. I
I
remember
was
watching
too.
that video. I'm like, oh, wow, what the hell?
Better late than never, I say.
Yeah,
But
it was really weird. It was
according to
like,
Patch, Leo, no, I'm sorry, Lily gets Grizzly and Sly Fox confused. Two different
oh,
pedophiles confused.
I've
well,
had
they're
a
both
couple of
furries,
people
aren't they?
match up Grizzly with freaking Tora just because they're both bears and pedophiles. That killed the
That's
call.
very true, Leo.
Yep,
That is true. 90% of Barrel is me yelling at people for being stupid. That's yeah, basically.
well,
When Leo gets upset with somebody for being dumb, you better believe he'll drag them into call and screech at them.
it's true.
So you admit what you were doing between yourself and Coyote on Twitter was stupid, right?
When did I say that it was brilliant? No, that was completely retarded.
Anthony
But
thinks it was
yeah,
brilliant.
but
He's
again,
mistaken him
there's
for
been times where he like would come up to me and be like, "Hey, look, I'm gonna cover your ex now. Are you cool with that? I'm gonna tell you no. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. All right, do you?" I it'd been building up for a while. Yeah. Do
Was that when you did the defense video or the exposure video?
I don't even
Or
remember.
both?
I glanced at it. I think I winded up fucking promoting it anyways, just because I was like, eh. I mean, he's gonna do what he's gonna do, and that's the other thing that kind of annoyed me. He's like, I'm not your flunky, and I'm like, never said you were. You've never listened. Then none of them listen. None of them.
Nobody ever listens.
No shit.
Well,
That is human nature, man.
Yeah.
technically, it's because of that video that he's in Barrel.
I remember somebody was mass tagging people.
Okay, here we'll
to
dance
watch
around
Coyote's
that right
video.
now because I've had that complaint right here. Since I know that Vitas had some experience with the underage people, I think he has no business calling anyone out for doing anything with a 17-year-old. I've consistently said that. I don't think he has any. Yeah,
Wait, are we jumping topics to what now? I'm
like
confused.
a certain person I'd prefer not to talk about, the Gremlin.
Oh,
Yeah.
that whole.
Yeah, 21
Okay.
to 17, and I was like, I don't. Yeah, you don't get to fucking go
I
on
just
about
think
this.
it's really. I just think it's weird. I don't know about predatory. It's just fucking weird in my opinion. Quite
I mean, I
frankly,
went
it's
I,
just
I went on to the phrase predatory because if people are going to start getting confused with a medical diagnosis to a slang term on the internet for someone who creeps
yeah.
on
Well, they
children.
okay. We'll put it this way: they specifically.
Men, I can't tell you how many moms I've had on the phone saying my son is not attracted to underage kids, and I'm like, ma'am, I wasn't saying that your son was attracted to kids. I said he's a fucking degenerate and he needs to get laid. And they're like, oh, okay.
By someone his age. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
I mean, they stopped on a
You
dime when they
failed to
found out.
raise your son, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, like I said, they stopped on a dime when they found out they weren't underage, and they felt weird. They were like, "Nah, that's still close enough." And I'm like, "Since when?"
Yeah, so it's just fucking weird because they both in a relationship.
No, that
Hey,
oh,
that's
if you want to say they're a hoe, well,
it's not that. It's just like they're now
Yeah,
the characters are getting
by all
married, and
means,
it's
you
like,
could absolutely
it's
say
weird
they're a hoe.
because that person role plays Alistair, and it's canonically known that Alistair is asexual, and like the Gremlin draws them doing all this weird shit, and it's fucking weird. It almost feels like they're disrespecting Vivzy and her characters by doing this, and it's
You know what
it's
Celestia
I
one of those
You
things
know
that
what
bugs me the
Celestia has to
most.
say about this.
I can say with 100% assurance that Alistair is not asexual. Just
Isn't
the
he
way
though?
he was just what?
Isn't he though? Because I know one of the editors for Hasbin Hotel would do live streams with Vivzy and a bunch of the other like cast and crew, and they would talk about it. And I know that at one point Alistair's sexuality and the sexuality of everybody else was brought up.
So here I'll address this stuff. Here's the thing I noticed where I think that something absolutely did happen. Something about pulls pants up was an action I saw in there. So something went down, but the thing is, from what I saw, they stopped. Now, did they stop at the relationship thing? I don't know. You guys would have to clue me in on that. For the
No, apparently they getting role played married, or they are role played married.
hmm.
I don't know. It's fucking
I'll
weird.
make sure to send them a fucking barf bucket
Yeah,
for the
but
wedding gift.
if you wanted to give them a hard time, I'm like, as somebody who's hunted pedophiles, as they have done. They should know better. It's really a bad look, I guess. Sure.
What kills me is that they continuously talk shit about you and other people, and it's like, you're doing all this stupid shit when you really have no place to talk. And then they're always like, I just want all the drama to go away. Then shut your fucking mouth! You want it to go away? Shut the fuck up. It's really not that hard to understand. Just shut up.
I mean, it's like, here's the thing, man. I just got off a call with Norton, and we were just basically like hammering in at Ryu. And I asked him, it's like, do you realize that what you did to Patch was the whole reason why you took down your shit was because you were afraid that Norton and Leo were gonna dox you? It's like,
what the fuck did Ryu do?
All right, so here's
no, let me explain it. I'm gonna finish the story. I said, so you don't realize the irony in the fact that when Patch made that post on the Zoophile Police site, and then someone asks you who this person was, and you show them that's the equivalent of you doxing Patch, because the profile is supposed to make the user anonymous.
Oh, God. So, fucking... God damn it, Ryu.
When I first heard it, I thought he specifically, like, handed off, like, here's their face, phone number, and such. And I was like, that kid needs a beating, and then no, that wasn't quite it. They thought that some random fan wanted to know about Patch, and it turned out to be a pedophile. And I was like, well, that's not as bad. That's still pretty bad, though, Ryu.
God, fucking Ryu. He's a freaking idiot. You don't know how many times I told that dumbass to knock his shit off, but he never listens. And eventually I just kind of gave up on him and stopped talking to him, because it's like, fuck it. I've had enough of having to deal with Anthony, who's basically a child himself, and Vita too. You guys are like stubborn teenagers, and it pisses me off. It's like, you guys
I have the cracked out headcanon. Minhart is the only adult in a fandom full of children. You heard it here first.
Exactly. And it's like, you know what? Another thing that kills me is during our drama when Season and all those people were jumping in, they're like, oh, Mint, you're so childish. I'm like, I'm the literal fucking child. You guys are older than me, arguing with me, and you're calling the child childish? Nani? It was so confusing to me, but it was also hilarious. It's like, who the fuck is this 20-something-year-old to call the literal child a childish and not recognize how stupid they sound?
It's like calling a ignorant black man the N-word.
I have said the word twice now, on accident.
Please stop.
Vinegar.
Indeed.
I just call them gingers from now on.
Sure.
It's
same letters.
Ginger. Same letters, just backwards.
Yeah.
Kind of. That's a little mixed around.
The hell are they talking about? The 1,000-year-old Ollie Dragon spirit?
I have absolutely no idea.
It's the age defense. It's the age defense, Anthony. She's 1,000 years old, so she can't be a kid. Like, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about that this character is drawn to look like a child, and someone is having sex with them.
You know, it's weird that my lolly detector works perfectly fine. I remember, I think it was Vita who brought it to my attention. He showed me this website, like, you guess the ages of these characters. And I did pretty freaking well. It's so hard. It's not that hard, actually, to guess the ages of characters. But, like, sometimes it is. Because of the, like, anime is such a weird thing. With having their
you literally contradicted yourself there.
Yes, I just realized.
I was like, you just said
well, yes, but actually, no.
You went Coyote Lovely levels of big brain just now.
Look, I'm not Sheldon. I'm not big brain like Shelly D. Well, you see,
we
guys,
all
I
have a bit
brain,
of autism.
So, we do. Some of us more than others. Anthony.
Well, okay, fantastic.
We all have the autism. We all have preferences.
Oh, holy shit, Kichi's here.
Brain,
you missed it here. Freaking Mintheart said that you are my most intelligent ex earlier.
Yes, and I will stand by that forever.
Okay.
Kichi was by far the best.
Yeah, Kichi's got a good head on her shoulders.
Prove me wrong. Out of all the people you dated, that Kichi is not the best. Prove me wrong.
I'm pretty happy with the current one.
Okay, look. Other than her, she's not an ex. Okay, because you guys are still dating, so I don't count her.
Okay.
Out of all your exes, tell me that Kichi was not the best one.
Yes, they're in the stream there. So yeah.
Only so you don't get your ass beat by
Yeah.
Kichi.
Well, she does hit the hardest of all of the X's. So.
Well, Kichi versus Leo, she was the best one. She put up the best fight against Leo at BronyCon, I was told. Was it
Didn't you
fucking
guys talk
Stalin?
about
Who else was fighting Leo there? Forget.
who else was fighting Leo? With the sword fight thingy?
Yeah, Stalin
That was
literally went down in
Stalin,
like 2
Vita,
seconds.
Foolery, Jala, a bunch of other people. It was a weird. I remember watching those videos. I was just laughing my ass off the entire time because Vita was hopping around like a goddamn grasshopper. It's 10 out of 10. Oh, see, even Leo thinks that Kichi's great. He has a good point.
I was arm wrestling. I didn't make it to the sword fight. Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
From what I remember, there has been arm wrestling against Kichi before, yes?
Yes.
I remember watching that video.
There was an epic
Damn.
battle between her and Irish John.
Of course.
It was a magical day. I remember that. Oh.
I love how this conversation turned from us fighting about what Vita did being stupid and the whole Twitter thing being stupid.
Well,
to,
that's the other thing I was
yeah,
confused about when I had that
gone.
discussion with Leo. I was completely fucking reasonable about it, and I was like, "Look, I just think that something should be probably discussed or happen. I don't know what it is. You figure that out." That was it.
Well, I mean,
it bugged
the
me.
fact that there were no visuals, it kills half the discussion right there. I mean, do you have video footage? Or I think you said you don't have
I
the
kept
calls
using,
anymore.
Yeah, I had I was using MP3 Skype recorder when I first started doing the whole burning thing. So no.
Yeah.
And if Vita had announced that he was naked in call, in all likelihood, my Skype was already minimized and put off into the corner of the screen.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's why I took a more interest in finding Stardust Sage, because he did say prior to you inviting her into the call that he was naked, drunk off his ass.
You mentioned in one of the calls that he'd gotten out of the call with Pink Mist too, so that was the other.
Yeah, that was prior to him pulling you into the call.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's like once Leo follows up on like getting that PFC confirmation, I hope that he can have a sit down with Vita and be like, look, need to provide some logs or some evidence or something, or some way for us to get a hold of Pink Mist properly.
Unlikely.
And
from
just
what
ask
I've heard,
her.
they're pretty dead right now.
Oh yeah, long gone.
Oh no,
yeah.
The last active post on their account was 2017.
No,
Like,
2019 on Twitter though. They were really close towards the end, so you might be able to catch them there if they did bother to reply. November, I think.
November. Okay, so maybe.
Maybe
Might be
it's
good.
possible, assuming they bother to reply. I did not endear myself to Pink Mist. Last time I could go into that story. Pink Mist was like doing the "woe is me" like cry thing during December, and I may have told him to shut the fuck up. And I did it in such a way that Sweetie Bloom came up to me and thanked me in private, despite her being a mod and having the power to kick Pink Mist. I had to step in and find a way, and I remember Pink Mist was looking around for sympathy for someone to, back her up so she could kick me in Clifford Beats. Like, yeah, shut the fuck up. It's Christmas. Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear it. And you're like, my life is so bad. I'm sitting in a goddamn car, freezing my ass off at work. Shut the fuck up. No one cares. You're probably in a nice warm house.
Exactly. Pink Mist was a mod too, wasn't she?
Oh yeah.
What Vita told me.
The mods at the mods at the time I think were Pink Mist, Peter,
As an Aeon of Dreams, or
yeah, and I believe
you
Toon.
Sweetie Bloom, didn't you?
Yeah, eventually Sweetie Bloom did become a mod. Me and freaking Puzzle Brony nagged her to come back, which here's the gist about Sweetie Bloom being a mod. Technically, when one of the times that she winded up banning me or punishing me, she couldn't prove it, but she's like, I know you're behind it, so you're banned for like 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm like, that's bullshit. I mean, it's true, but that's bullshit.
It's true.
I didn't tell her that part, but I'm like, this is bullshit. I covered my steps. You can't prove a fucking thing I did. This is horse crap of the highest order. You're cheating.
I have to go now. You guys have a good one.
All right, no problem.
Oh wait, see you never.
Yeah,
Adios.
Pink Mist was definitely before Kichi's time.
Definitely.
Here's what Vita told me about Pink Mist when I asked him about it more, because I've never.
I
heard
think
of
they
her
watched
before.
movies together or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, that's fucking gay. Well, he told me he was buddying up to her because she was a mod, and that's literally the only reason he ever talked to her. Whether that's true or not, I don't fucking know. But knowing Vita, I would not be surprised if that was the only reason he ever got on good terms with her, just because she's a mod.
I wasn't aware that there was any kind of connection. I didn't state that in the fucking video. If I didn't make the accusation in the video, then obviously I didn't say that. All I stated was there was an underage kid in the call and he got naked.
I know, but Anthony, when you say something like that, it's kind of implied that he's. At least from what I took it, it was like, oh, he's trying to imply something. And I think that's how a lot of people took it too.
Okay, well then I will.
Too.
Yeah, no, I had that whole discussion where Lee was like, I don't think he was a pedophile there. I was like, I don't think so either. I thought that it was I'm showing that how careless and retarded and freaking this.
Yeah, that wasn't very clear. It
Okay.
just like it implied other things.
All right.
And that's also what kind of made me a little angry. Just a little bit. It's like, Anthony, you're implying something with like. Basically,
I was getting angry because your post is like, it doesn't count, and I'm like, what? Fucking what?
Well, I wasn't trying to say it doesn't count. I'm just like, Vita was drunk off his fucking ass, and yeah, he did something really fucking stupid, but like, it happened so long ago. What really are we supposed to do but call him a retard for it?
Well, what would you
Eat him out of the fandom for something like?
Well, here's what I would do, and this is, I could say that we did this to Mal. We kicked him out for a couple of days, and I said, look, we're
He
probably.
runs barrel. We can't kick him out of barrel.
Well, does that just mean he gets away with no matter what at this point? Then that's my whole thing. Like,
I mean, we can't kick him out of his own group. That's kind of my thing. Is like how.
Well, that's why I said it's up to Leo to work that fucking bullshit out.
I guess he's gonna have to string some kind of deal with Vita about it, because there's really nothing else that can happen. We can't kick him out of barrel. He's not in limbo or any of the other groups on Skype because he never fucking uses it. The only thing we could tell him is, hey, you're stupid. This was really bad. Suffer the consequences of, I don't fucking know. You're not allowed to use barrel. Dude. What do you expect him to do? Honestly,
I said no. I thought I was like, well, you figure it out, Leo. And I was like, I don't know. It's a weird bullshit thing that he should just be able to get away with something. That's. I guess you'd have to convince him to take a penalty.
Yeah, because we can't really do anything. We can't force Vita to do anything. And also, it happened so long ago. It's like, what do we like? What is there to do? This was 5 years ago. About, and we don't even know.
I absolutely didn't cover that up
110%
though.
what
I mentioned every time. Kichi can tell you that I don't shut up about dumb shit people do. Probably why they left.
No,
Mint can tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. I know very well that you don't, because it's so annoying to me sometimes. It's like, Anthony, just let this go. Honestly, it happened so long ago, and it's like, it's so annoying when you bring up old shit. It's like, why are you bringing this up when like it's either been solved? Like, it just.
You did
on, man.
You did wind up leaking something to Vita that wound up pissing off Rouge though. I know that's why she kicked you out.
I didn't leak anything to Vita. I just. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I just know that she's like, oh, that's it. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was never going to be able to win that argument. So it must have been something substantial. That's all I remember.
No, here's what Rouge told me. She said she thought that I betrayed her because I went to go apologize to her yesterday. I'm like, I'm too tired to be fighting with her too. I'm already fighting with Anthony. I think that's enough. So I went to go apologize to her, and she's like, no, I thought you had betrayed me. I thought that you were leaking to Vita, but after I took a moment to like think about it, I realized, oh no, yeah, I was just talking to Vita about it. I wasn't like leaking anything. I never leaked anything. I was just talking about, like, oh, Anthony's being stupid and it's making me mad. And I didn't think that anything bad was gonna happen of just telling Vita about it, because normally I tell Vita about dumb shit like that all the time. I wasn't even telling Beryl until after I got kicked out of Limbo. And I was like, oh, this is, mm, and I got really mad.
Hey, I didn't
So
do it.
it wasn't until after I got out of limbo that I started like leaking my chats with you into Bear. I'm like, look at this retard, he's being stupid. Let's laugh at him together.
Sure. What exactly did I say that was compromising?
Nothing. You didn't say anything compromising about anything. You were just being dumb. I'm like, this makes me mad. He's being stupid again.
I mean,
And
story tracks.
I wasn't gonna link any. I wasn't going to link anything from Rouge. I mean, the most I was gonna do was like, put the parts where she's talking about the drama with me too, and that's about it. Like, this is what Rouge has been saying too. I wasn't gonna leak anything personal. I'm not that type of person. Like, fucking Christ. I don't paint myself as a saint. I'm absolutely not a saint, but I'm also not like 110% evil. At most, I'm like 75% evil. Come on, man. That's at least 25% goodness, Anthony.
Well, I'll put it like this, man. Due to stress being what it is, and you softballing me in this situation against my better judgment, sure.
Sure. I'm not the type to leak. If anything, you should be more concerned about other people in your group leaking. There's plenty who eat stuff. Like Mao was the biggest one.
No, we know.
For both Barrel and Limbo.
No, we're well
Mel. Everything.
Mel's pretty dumb.
He is pretty dumb. He's not quite your level of stupid, but he's up there.
Oh, that reminds me. Let's take a look. Are they even still in the room? Yep. Fixed.
Fix that. Just let me yeet.
Hey, look. I was prepared to fucking have a civil discussion, and Spoken's like, no, you. And I'm like, I just need filler content for my side channel.
I just need filler content. Wow.
What?
You know what? That's completely fair. I can't even lie. That's fair.
No, this totally could have been a fucking main channel fucking video, but
this could have been. Look, we have 39 people watching, Anthony.
Well, you're sending me the wrong message, man. Next time I have a misunderstanding, a shit ton of people are gonna fucking show up to argue. Anyways.
Yeah. Kind of sucks Leo can't join in. I think that would have been fun too.
Oh, it would have been.
At both of us.
Probably. We've both been pretty stupid.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But I didn't. I very specifically just felt that, because it was such a fucking deal, and when I brought it up, everybody's like, "Oh, it doesn't count," and I'm like, I don't feel that if that had been anybody else, that would have happened.
I mean,
if AJ the autistic pony would have been like, "Whoops, I'm autistic, my wang's out,"
that's a name I haven't heard in forever. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm gonna get yelled at probably somewhere down the line. Someone's gonna be like, "Ah, you dick! You had to do that."
You can't say that.
You can't. I'm autistic. It's okay. Surprised that hasn't come up.
Haven't people tried to make that excuse for some things though?
Yeah, some things. Does AJ still do things? Oh God, don't make me look over there.
I know he. Was
you know what? Let's head over there. Let's head over there right now.
Let's head over to DeviantArt. Let's take a look. See.
AJ the autistic pony. God help me.
I have.
2 months ago. Oh God.
Oh boy.
Nope. Stop. 1 month ago. Yep, he still does stuff.
What is he? He does comic dubs, doesn't he?
I guess.
From what I remember.
Step's favorite song is by his ex. That he keeps reposting constantly from Mandy Chan. He knows the one.
Oh, Mandy. What the hell ever happened to her?
I don't care. Do I have to look up Mandy Chan? Don't make me do that. That's so gauche to be like, hey, remember their ex? Let's go look them up. Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
No, from what I remember with Mandy, she was pretty nice, but that's all I ever really knew about her. You don't have to torture yourself with having to look up Mandy as well, though. Don't worry. I think having to look up AG the Autistic Pony.
I am curious. There's a sick part of me that go look. Okay, good. I can't find it. All right. I'm not gonna put in Pony.
She might have just disappeared. Who knows?
Well, Steph would be able to find it later.
Maybe, possibly.
I will follow both of you, Archer. You and Icarus. How is what's his name? I always
What's
refer
his
to
name?
Archer as what's his name's friend. God damn it! The
What's his
Russian
name?
guy, the one who the one that like talked to Jason like Russian. What was his damn name? You know what I'm
I
talking
have
about, right?
no idea. No.
He's the one who like
Uh,
did the inappropriate art that got freaking
oh, Cloudy.
Oh yeah, Cloudy
Let's
Bernie's
not
friend.
mention
I wanted
Cloudy.
to. I gotta mention Archer that way at least once every stream.
Actually, Cloudy is still an Archer server, and I bullied him relentlessly for it. Like, Archer, you fucking idiot, why is he in here? And he's like, well, friendship. I'm like, no, I don't know. Fuck that shit. Like, what he did wasn't okay. I'm like, that's just fucking weird.
Here,
What he
I'll
did
put
was
it to
really
this way:
not good.
as you mentioned, well, Maul isn't so bad. Our freaking Cloudy isn't so bad by the average of people we've been covering.
Yikes. You know
Yeah.
what? You're not wrong. I guess. I mean, compared to Cloudy, I think Mal is decent.
Okay, well, here, let's do this one. Is Cloudy worse than stepping up and calling having your wang out?
What?
What Vita did versus Cloudy did. What do you go with there?
Oh, what? Ah, fuck. Oh, well, let's see. What Cloudy did was, drawing really, like, what, porn of an underage person's character, correct?
Like he
Or
drew
something
like a
that.
nude picture, and then like his big like comeback is I think it's called Big Mouth or some shit like that. It's like a Netflix series where like the
Oh, right. Yes.
and then and I was like, wait a minute, isn't that like the little kid's sex drive that you decided to draw everybody's character as? And I'm like,
Ugh.
I could see why people wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that. Jesus, that show's pretty gross. You know that got fucking nominated, I think, for a Grammy or some shit.
Why?
I don't know. I have no
I
idea.
see it. I've seen it on Netflix when passing by looking for something to watch. And
Don't.
I'm never going to. Like, not only is the art style like really ugly and I don't like it, but from what I've heard, it's just horrible. And I'm like, no, I really don't want to watch this
I
ever.
only know
Netflix,
about it
please.
because Mars Reviews covered it, and I watched this thing. I'm
Oh,
like, this is just watching the review, which seems spot on, is rough.
thanks. Ugh.
I could sit through a pretty bad animation, but
I could too, but like again, from what I hear, it's just no. I don't want to. I'm terrified.
go watch Forget About It. It's Canadian's freaking Family Guy.
Forget about it.
Jesus.
Natural selection is the Animal Kingdom's quality control. Yes. What are they talking about? I have no idea what's being
I don't
talked
know.
about in the freaking chat.
I think Kichi was bullying someone in the comments or some shit.
He was trying to fight Archer and Icarus, so there's
Yeah.
that.
Did
Person wasn't underage, and it was.
I was gonna ask
Luna
Leo, did
Ferris.
freaking that one guy stop being friends with King finally?
That one guy. That's very descriptive, Anthony. That one guy.
Yeah, I know, Doctor or some shit like that. We were calling him
Oh,
King's
Doctor
friend.
like Mute or
Yeah, that's
whatever
it. That's exactly who it is. That's I didn't keep up on that. Let's see. I'd also like to comment how dumb it is kinda was for dude with a zebra OC to pick a fight with a guy with a lion's just saying Whoop Master. Lol, no idea about
Hey.
mute. Yeah. He keeps showing up.
Is he like running off? I don't know too much about that whole situation either. I don't pay attention to drama too much, quite frankly. I'm not even in Barrel right now. I left a bit ago. I'm like,
You made it sound like you were just in there.
nah, I haven't been in Barrel for a couple of days now. Almost a week, I think.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I dip in and out of Barrel a lot. I only really ever go back if it's for, believe it or not, Roblox, or if there's some kind of drama thingy going on.
The only thing I know about Roblox is the death sound effect.
Ooh.
Yep, that's literally it. I only know about it because of Lilac.
I have that as my ringtone whenever I get a text.
Alright,
It's
so I'm
just-
going to get myself in trouble again. The person who has the most magical ringtone in the world is Crook.
Oh.
It's this really like I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like every time you hear it you'll be on the floor. I'm like, what kind of weird fairy nonsense was that? I want to bully you forever
My
and ever.
lord. That sounds magical, though.
Oh, it
I'm not
is.
gonna lie.
It's the sort of thing where you could probably be in a complete screaming argument at somebody like wanting to murder, and you'd hear that in the back. Wait, what was that?
Just something that ends it all like, what? Play that again. Oh, my lord.
All right, I think we got through everything, right?
Yes. We touched base on pretty much everything.
All right, see you in a couple of months.
Wow,
And
okay.